MK, and I am here with a Paw Your Way into Our Hearts layout with you guys today, and I'm combining it with Series 13, Christy's Beautiful Life, 30 Days of Sketches, and I am using Janet Fritz's sketch for today, and I'm actually going to stretch it across 2-page layout. So here is a close-up of Janet's sketch that I will be playing with today, and then I am actually going to wrap my brain around how to stretch all of these pieces going on using a kit that I picked up from Janet herself. So I thought it would be kind of cool. I do have these stickers that I would like to incorporate, but they get set off to the side and I completely forget about them. I pulled out all of my brown-ish or vintage-ish pieces because that's where this collection is coming from. I've got some old Smashbook stuff that I've had in my stash forever. I have this little baggie that is full of labels and tickets and things like that. These are in my label drawer. I usually tend to reach for my label drawer when I need tucking elements or filler pieces or anything like that. I have a label, well, it's not a drawer, it's a bin. I have a label bin, and I've got a bunch of stuff in here. I have some Stampin' Up! Labels, some cut-apart labels that are from the Not Just for Boys, corrugated and cork pieces from Close to My Heart, just all sorts of stuff within this little baggie. And then the last little envelope is a Maya Road envelope from way back in the day. So a bunch of old stuff within this little bag, but yeah, I was trying to see whether or not I can make those work with within my brain. Like normally just me flipping through the stuff triggers how they're going to fall together nicely, cluster together nicely. And yeah, I didn't get anything very much from that baggie, but thought I'd go through with it. Also from my label bin, I have this Lost and Found label. I think I'm going to use the one that says date on it. Some more little tickets and label things. These ones are pouches that were also Stampin' Up! From many moons ago. And I had all these little tickets inside, another Smashbook 2x2 square thing, and then another My Mind's Eye lemon twist, because I was thinking about bringing in some, yes, I'll say it, pink into this layout because it's of my puppy and he has the cutest pink tongue. But I used these photos because of the fact that they turned out the color that they did because of the flooring. Now, this is very old flooring in my house. I now have different flooring because we had that flood in my house. So I really wanted to bring in the pink rather than the blues. He's wearing a blue sweatshirt and it doesn't really look blue. And honestly, you can't even see it on my black dog. Yep. So here's the kit. It is My Mind's Eye Lost and Found Record It that Janet had put together. She had a sticker sheet. She had 3D, like cluster stickers, I think is what they are. I pulled out a few other papers. This one here is a mix-in pack from Close to My Heart back from 2020. I didn't know if I was going to use the pink or the brown because the pink actually matches this My Mind's Eye paper that I had in my stash from Good Day Sunshine. I love this print and how brown it is, how vintage it is, but it does have that little hint and speck of pink, and then it has this bold orange corally color on the back. So I do really love that one too. I also have this paper that came from my stash from Lost and Found 3. I just loved all the colors in here. I have the peachy pink, the red, the vintage color, It all was on one piece of paper. So I thought, oh my gosh, that's so cool. And then pastel pink stripes in the back behind it. These two pieces of paper here, I'm going to have to be honest, I have no clue where they're from. So if anybody knows, let me know. They are not super paper thin. So I know they didn't come from a booklet or, one of those paper stack papers, but they're pretty thick. And they're just white on one side. So I really like the fact that, again, they're kind of a vintagey, grungy houndstooth. This piece of paper here, I believe, because it is super paper thin, I want to say that it is a Creative Memories from one of their vintage photo pieces, but I'm not really sure. And then the rest of the papers came from the Lost and Found Record It kit that Janet had put together, and it is very, very glittery. I still have glitter all over my desk. All over my floor. It's everywhere, and I've swept about 3 times. It's horrible. This piece of paper was in another kit, more like a boy kit that Janet had put together, but I thought that the numbers and whatnot brought in some more of that pink and red tones, so I thought I would bring that piece in as well. This piece, yeah, that does not make it on my layout, but I thought I would share with you guys. This looks like one of those really old flapper dresses that they used to wear back in the day, 30s? Yeah. All right. And then it's not making it on the layout. I love these stripe pieces of paper, especially inside the stripes, the wordy bits. They are sewing patterns. So I really liked that too because my dog's wearing a sweatshirt. I mean, in my brain, it made sense to bring the 2 pieces together. And this is the back side, but I'm going to be using the stripe side. I also have this, what is that called? Damask paper, but I do like this striped paper because it reminded me of the other print that had the little bit of pink on side, or the corally bits. And then I cut out a whole bunch because it took me forever to try to figure out how these papers looked good and in what order, like what pieces go on top of each other and whatnot. So that definitely took a little bit of something. I don't know why this was so hard for me to wrap my brain around how I was going to be able to incorporate all of these layers. Janet does this so super easy. She can do it in her sleep. But for me, I struggle with all the layers, and maybe it's because I didn't use full sheets of paper. I definitely probably could have cut the papers and made them work as full strips, but I don't know why I didn't. I ended up just cutting out what I needed and then saving the rest just in case I needed more tucking pieces. So I'm going to take all of those strips from that one piece of paper and make more layers and start tucking and weaving more and more and more into this particular layout. I liked the fact that it did have 2 matching pieces on here, and then everything else was pretty close but not exact. And so I'm just going through and pulling out all of the strips that I know I want to put on the layout but not sure. I already did trim my photos and matted them on that super thin, I think it's Creative Memories paper. Just because I knew that all of this My Mind's Eye paper is super thick. So it's going to be a really thick layout. All right, so once I figure out how I'm going to do my layering, now I'm going to go ahead and glue it all together. And it does take me quite some time, so I definitely cut all that out just because of the fact that, like I said, I was having a hard time wrapping my brain around how it was supposed to work. I just could not figure out how it was supposed to work. All right, so I definitely wanted to bring some attention diagonally across my page. So I'm going to take some more of those border strips and make a small little something, a small little border effect over on the bottom left, and then a small, medium size border of something to bring up to the top of my upper right. So that it isn't part of the sketch, but it is definitely something that I wanted to do. And I think one of the things that I was struggling with is that I didn't use a plain background. I think that's what's in Janet's sketch, is a plain background, and then she had 5 layers of paper, all coming in from different sides. I don't know, you guys. I had a hard time. 2 of the photos were very similar, and so I decided to remove one of the photos because it was taking up too much from the design. I was covering up a whole lot of stuff over on the right, and I really wanted to see it. I mean, that's the whole point of this entire layout. So I omitted one of the photos, even though the 2 photos on the far right do still look similar. One's a close-up and the other one is farther away. You get to see the whole thing. But yeah, it's just one of those things. I definitely wanted to make sure that, I used up all the photos, especially when my son just thought that this was the funniest thing, and Roscoe had no clue, but he loves his sweater. And so he really he really loved the fact that, Gabe put a sweater on him. I don't think he noticed that it wasn't his, in all honesty. And then after a while, Gabe rolled up the sleeves so he wasn't trampling on the sleeves, which was quite funny on a slick floor, like our wood floor is. But yeah, it was just a funny moment that my son decided to play with the dog. All right, so I'm going to go through part of my stash and see what all embellishments I want to put on the layout. I do want to incorporate quite a bit of these stickers. I love this one here that says "You Are," and then you get to check all that applies. I don't end up checking anything, but I love the fact that I can read it all. I am going to finally use this Smash Pocket or Smash It Pocket or whatever that book was called, and I'm going to put a pink sticker that says happy, and then of course that little paper clip that says like. I like the fact that the paper clip was so super thin. I do have this word cute, but I end up putting it on the packaging and then spacing that it was there. And I end up incorporating what I felt like was quite a bit from Janet's collection that she had put together, minus all of the very glittery things. I like this saying that says the word friend on it, except for the B, so I'm going to try to incorporate it up at the top and have it hanging down, almost like a banner without other banners. And then I wanted this adorable sticker, but I also wanted the pink brackets that are around the sticker. I just didn't want them together. So I'm going to cut the bracket in half and put it in two different spots. That way I have a little bit more of this pink going throughout, because my puppy's pink tongue, it just really sticks out in the photo. It was one of the things. And then of course my son's red sweater as well, which actually is orange. It just turned out red because of the lighting and the reflection of the flooring is what changed the colors of these photos. So I think that they match really well with the papers and whatnot. I definitely like that adorable sticker a lot better. I wanted to incorporate some of these 3D stickers. I totally forgot about them, so they didn't make it on the list or on the layout. And then, like I said, the thickers that I picked out also don't make it either, because I have silver glitter and I brought black and gold, and the word that I wanted was gold. So it's not gonna work at all either. Even though the paper is yellowy, it could still be considered gold. It's just not gonna work. All right, so last that I'm going to do is figure out these little clusters that I wanted down at the bottom and the upper right, and that is going to be how I finish the layout. So I'm just going to layer up a whole bunch, keeping in mind that this is what Janet loves to do. It's one of her favoriteest things in the world, but I am distressing all of the pieces. Now, this is actually one of my old work shirts. Back when I used to mechanic, I had a bunch of sweaters that I wore underneath my work shirt, my button up. So that way I stayed warm working out in the elements, and my shirt got dirty. But this shirt ended up getting dirtier because everything just soaks right through. If you've ever been around that kind of stuff, it just soaks right on in. And so this was definitely one of those sweatshirts. Well, when I was trying to get rid of it, my boys don't ever let me get rid of any sweatshirts. They always get handed down to them. And this was one of them. And I thought it was appropriate. The sleeves are totally chewed up and marred. You can probably see some of them hanging out. It's a terrible sweatshirt. But it definitely looks good on Roscoe. So here is my title. It just says friend, and then it's got a little definition down at the bottom. Below it, I do love the addition of the reds and the pinks. I think it adds a little bit to all the layerings and helps separate just the black from the cream a little bit more and draws your attention to the photos a lot more. So anyways, that is my puppy layout for today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I truly appreciate it. Be sure to check out all the links down below. This is Sarah and Rebecca's, no, not Sarah's. I apologize. It's Miranda and Rebecca's hop that they have put together to help us document our furry friends in our lives. And so I thought it was great. Janet, thank you so much for a great sketch. As much as I struggled with it, I do love the end result from it. So don't forget to check out the 2 links that I have below for Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches Series 13. And yeah, I think that is it for today, and I will check y'all later. Bye.